The following presentation is brought to you by the Realm Network.
What is up? I'm back with your Impact Wrestling review, and this week it was Turning Point. Now, if you're new to TNA and you've only been watching because the whole final deletion thing, Turning Point was formerly a pay-per-view, but now, as you know, TNA only give us 2 pay-per-views each year, and this week on Turning Point, we had a battle royale. Whoever won would be a number 1 contender and would fight Lashley for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. We had a new Knockouts champion, and then we had Drew Galloway versus EC3 once again, but this time it's different because whoever wins between the two will main event at Bound for Glory. That will be live on pay-per-view on the 2nd of October, which is more than a month away. So yeah, but this week's Impact Wrestling kicks off with a segment that is not in the Impact Zone, but it is outside. Rooftop, poolside, lavish, so luxurious, so EC3. And of course it was EC3 and Drew Galloway, and apparently The Office stirred the pot and got these two together. And all throughout this week's episode we saw this outdoor segment between the two. And I love these outdoor segments TNA give us. I mean, they're always so creative, and especially since the final deletion, we've seen so many of these segments, and I absolutely love them. And just to name a few, we've seen Bram and Rosemary, and her telling us a bit of her backstory. Do you remember when we saw Eli Drake on top of the mountain when he was the King of the Mountain champion? How cool was that? And we saw a cool video package on James Storm like 2 weeks ago. So I really enjoy these segments that TNA give us. And TNA are really good with these segments too. But we have a battle royale, and Lashley joins commentary. And TNA, you couldn't get another extra chair. You couldn't get another extra headset. And you had to make the Pope leave commentary. But apparently the Pope didn't want to be next to Lashley, so he just went. It was nice to have someone new join commentary. It's a bit more refreshing, it gets more exciting. And with Lashley, I just want to see more of his personality. I feel like he has definitely improved so much in terms of him and his mic work and stuff, but I don't know, I feel like he's just lacking in something, and I don't know, I just want to see him execute it on the mic. Does that make sense? I don't know. But this Battle Royale has the Bromans in, it has the Tribunal in, it has Mahabali, Shira, and Grado, it has Eddie Edwards, and we have the Miracle Mike Bennett and Moose. The problem, come on, Moose coming out with Mike with his music. No, like, Moose is this badass, like, give him his own music. Why has this guy gotta come down holding Mike's hand? And Moose takes out Jesse, and that just shows how powerful he is. Like, Moose previously also took out Mahabali Shira out of the Battle Royale, and it just, he's just showcasing his strength and his power. And that guy is he's just awesome. Why is he in the storyline with Mike? I just don't like it. But, Moose tries to take Eddie out of the ring, and Mike sees an opportunity and tosses, I mean, Mike is tiny, he cannot toss Eddie Edwards and Moose together, but he gets Moose and Eddie out of the ring and becomes the number 1 contender to fight Lashley for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. So, he didn't play fair there, and he betrayed his buddy Moose, and Moose looked quite unhappy with that, but like, Moose, like, when are you gonna say enough is enough? But after that, we see a lot of backstage stuff, and we continue with the EC3 and Drew Galloway segment. Both of them being as responsible as they should, drinking kale and spinach and flaxseed protein smoothie, that was my sarcasm. But after they both, take a shot, EC3, he just gets to the point. He's like, so what's your problem, Drew? What's your problem with me? And that's what I love about Ethan, he just gets to the point. So confrontational, just like myself. I love it. And Drew's like, well, you cost me the title shot 3 times, something like that, blah, 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 blah. This carries on all through Impact this week. And then we see Aaron entering the Impact Zone again, pumping us up for the main event. And we see Matt Hardy promoting Bound for Glory in his broken mat fashion. Yeah. And we also see a vignette or whatever on the Fixer. I mean, they've been promoting Tyrus as the Fixer for how many weeks now? Have we even seen the guy? Like, come on, if you TNA sign all these wrestlers who have a WWE star appeal, yet they just waste talent like Tyrus. Like, why is Tyrus the Fixer? Like, for a guy that is of his size, he should be coming out every week, dominating people left, right, center. Why is this guy hiding somewhere and pretending to be a fixer? I mean, talk about fixer, man. If you had Tyrus, you could probably fix a few problems. But Matt Hardy comes out with a contract and then says a few stuff on the mic, and then the obsolete mule, Brother Nero, comes out, and Brother Nero is looking so much more better than Broken Matt. I mean, this guy is stealing the show, and he comes out and he sings along to his song, and especially at the end, of his entrance music thing, when he sang the song, we could hear him all loud and clear. Yeah, I love that. But Matt Hardy says, "Why are you here? Your presence is not required at this time, Brother Nero." Brother Nero says, "I'm here to win, I'm here to fight, I'm here for myself and the creatures." Now, this is where you get a bit too confusing for me. You say you're here for the creatures. Last week, you were showing us your brokenness. Like, do you have a personality disorder? Like, what is up? You're confusing me. Like, honestly, this is so confusing. And then we have Rosemary, Abyss, and Crazy Steve surrounding the Impact Zone in random places, and they all say something on the mic. And they're all just so poetic. I mean, I love it. Giving me some Shakespeare here. Broken Matt had a premonition about, one of the members from Decay abducting King Maxwell. And that is why King Maxwell and Rebby are not, we haven't seen them in a few weeks. But Abyss challenges Jeff Hardy to a match. He says, let's have one more match again. And Jeff Hardy starts flying around. Crazy Steve and Rosemary again with a miss, and Jeff Hardy tries to go top rope. Matt interrupts. He's like, "You have to fight with honor. You have to fight with honor. You cannot give us these crazy high-flying moves from the top rope." Jeff does it anyways, and then I think Matt is on the mic and he says, "In my premonition, Crazy Steve abducted King Maxwell," and then he starts biting Crazy Steve's ear, and we know Matt Hardy for, biting in people's ears. Last time he was biting Al Snow's finger, then he was biting somebody's feet, somebody's ankle. He was trying to, I don't know, this guy crazy. But how cool would it be if we saw another segment of Matt Hardy in his castle, sleeping, at night, and it's, there's thunder going on, and then he has these crazy dreams. Instead of having a premonition, we could, see Broken Matt having a nightmare and waking up, and, he's sleepwalking all around his castle, and delete. Okay, I'm just fantasy booking over here right now. Abyss hits Jeff with a black hole slam and pins Brother Nero. Now, Broken Matt is of course not happy and calls Brother Nero a grasshopper, and you have a lot to learn. Matt says to the Decay that your day of deletion will be in my hands soon, and that is that. Then we go backstage and we see Maria, Sienna, and Ali. Maria scolding Ali for not telling her about the knockouts match that is gonna happen tonight. And then Billy appears and he clarifies to Maria that he is the new TNA president. And he says, since Sienna interfered in last week's match, she will be having a title match. She will be defending her title tonight. But of course, Sienna getting into defense mode, and she says, "I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm faster." Sienna, you're kind of sounding like a broken record. You keep saying this, but we never see you at your strongest, fastest, fullest mode. We barely see you, girl. Preach what you practice, okay? And we have Marcy Bell in this match, we have Jade, we have Ali, who doesn't wrestle, and we have Madison Rayne. So a number of challenges, but the thing is, when Madison Rayne comes out, everyone's like cheering for her, like she's a face. But like, have you forgotten how she kind of attacked Gail Kim a few weeks ago? Like, I'm sorry, when you present someone in that manner, someone who betrays like a friend of theirs, like why are you guys cheering for her? Like, what? You should be booing her out of the building. I just don't get it. But like, of course, Ali did not wrestle so much in this match. She was just screaming around, running around, hiding in every corner that she could. But things get interesting when Jade hits the package pile drive on Madison Rayne. Madison Rayne is down. Marty gets her baton, her best friend, her new BFF, her baton. Ali gets hit by Marty's baton, falls on Madison Rayne. Earl Hebner count. 1, 2, 3. Ali is crowned as a new Knockouts champion. Now, Ali had no idea that she was pinning Madison Rayne. She's so clueless, but, you know, she gets her Knockouts champion moment, and everyone is cheering for her. Now, as much as people think she's annoying, which she is annoying, come on, that's her whole character. She's meant to be annoying, but she's kind of innocent in the same, like, she's annoying and innocent and entertaining. But sometimes I can't stand her because, my ears. You know, we all know Ali as Cherry Bomb. She has been fairly popular prior to signing to TNA. And I just want to see that. I don't want to see Ali anymore. I want to see Cherry Bomb. Then we see EC3, Drew again. Oh my god, I'm feeling like I'm getting drained at this point. And this time, Drew pushes EC3 into the pool. I mean, of course, EC3, if you're going to turn your back, the guy's going to push you in the pool. That is why pools are there, to be pushed in. Yeah. But it wasn't maliciously, you know, done by Drew. It was just all in fun. Yeah. But then we see Moose leaving the impact zone. He's walking, and then Lashley is in his car and gives Moose like a card that says a restaurant's name or something. I thought it was a business card, but apparently it wasn't, because Lashley invited Moose to come out so they could talk, and he shouldn't be Mike's pushover, blah, 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 blah. I mean, why are they portraying Moose as this character, as this idiot who's like following everything the Miracle says? Like, this is just dumb, and it's just like, why? Like, why are you wasting talent like Moose? It's not every day you see a guy like Moose and the things Moose can do, so why are you wasting him? Why are you, he's not a pushover kind of guy, okay? What the hell? But then we have the fact of life, dummy, yeah. So let me talk to you. We have all the X Division guys out. EC3, oh man. Eli Drake, dummy, yeah. Eli Drake has the X Division title, and he's basically insulting everyone. Not once did he mention about losing in the Battle Royale, nor did anyone else mention that. Oh, and did I forget to mention that Eli Drake was also in the Battle Royale? Yeah, dummy, yeah, once again. But, yeah, he pretty much bashes everyone. Rockstar Spud says a few things on the mic. This guy is just so good, so good. I love me some Spud. My homeboy over there, my homeboy. Braxton calls Spud a crybaby. He says, you have braces. Spud says, it's because you're unprofessional. That is why I have adult braces. He bashes Trevor Lee and Andrew Everett. He says, you're from North Carolina. That will get you nowhere. He says to Mandrews that you're short, you have blonde hair, and you're British. That will never get over. Spud, are you kind of talking about yourself too? Because you're British, you're short, and you kind of have blonde hair too, mate. But, DJ Z also says a few stuff. Then we get into a brawl for like 5 seconds. Mandrews and DJ Z with their high-flying stuff, and everyone's like loving Mandrews. I mean, I think it was a standing moonsault he attempted last week, but yeah, but there was a lot of emphasis on DJ Z, so that says a lot. But now it's time to get into the main event of this evening, and it is Drew Galloway versus EC3 with special guest referee Aaron Rex. Now, whoever wins in this match will be main eventing at Bound for Glory. To me, this match was pretty predictable. I mean, come on. Very competitive. I really liked it when they went outside of the ring. I liked the Celtic or Celtic, whatever, cross Drew hit on the steel steps. That was pretty good. I liked it when EC3 did the 1%er from the second rope. But of course, your new number one contender, how many number one contenders do we have? The winner of this match is EC3. How predictable was that? Of course, EC3 is going to win. Everybody wants to see this. Do I think EC3 will become the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion at Bound for Glory? Yes, of course, without a doubt. The way to make Drew turn heel. And so he did. He attacked Aaron after EC3 left with the victory. He attacked Aaron. He was like slamming the guy in the steel post, steel steps. This guy going crazy. Can we already have a 6 sides of steel match? So yeah, finally, Drew turning heel. We've been waiting for this for a while, and my eyelash is coming off my eye. That is it for this week's TNA review from moi. I didn't enjoy this week's Impact as much as I did last week. Of course, there was a lot of new stuff going on. I mean, Ali is a Knockouts champion. We have 2 number one contenders. We have the whole Moose and Lashley thing going on. Drew turning heel. We're going to see Aaron Rex and Drew feud now. So yeah, there's a lot going on. A lot of stuff to push storylines, create new feuds. A lot of that going on. I also heard that the ratings were higher this week for TNA. So yeah, let me know what you thought of TNA this week. Leave a comment down below. What do you guys think of Drew turning heel? Yes, finally, in my opinion, this is quite overdue. See you next Friday with another review. Hopefully more excited for a review. Hopefully no eyelashes falling everywhere. Hopefully my life in control. But I'll see you next week. What did you guys think of the... I'm a mess. Hot mess. What? Stop. Shariya! I'm a great pianist. Opinions. Ali becoming the new champion. My mic giving up on life.